There were 7 cameras hidden in my apartment. In the living room, the bedroom, the bathroom. My girlfriend installed all of them, and she'd been watching everything for 4 months before I found the first one. Rachel and I had been together for about a year and a half. She was intense from the start, attentive in a way that felt romantic at first. Always knew what I was doing, always remembered details I'd mentioned once in passing. I chalked it up to her just being a good listener. We had a decent relationship. Some arguments, mostly about her jealousy, but nothing that felt like a red flag I needed to run from. That was a mistake. It started with a weird question. I'd been out with a friend for dinner. A female friend, someone I'd known since college. Nothing romantic. When I got home, Rachel was already there, and she asked, word for word, "Did you sit on the same side of the booth or across from each other?" I thought it was just jealousy. Weird question, but whatever. Then she mentioned the restaurant. I hadn't told her where we were going. I figured she'd seen something on my story, but I hadn't posted. Then she knew what I ordered, and I started to go cold inside. I convinced myself I was being paranoid. There had to be a logical explanation. Maybe she was tracking my location and recognized the restaurant. Maybe one of my friends mentioned it. I let it go. But then something happened in my apartment that I never told anyone about. And she brought it up casually in conversation like she'd been there. I found a first camera by accident. I was replacing a light bulb in the living room and knocked over a decorative book on the shelf. One of those hollow fake books that look like decor. When it hit the floor, it cracked open, and there it was. A small wireless camera, the kind you buy online for like $30, pointed directly at the couch. I stood there holding it for a full minute before I could process what I was looking at. I didn't say anything to Rachel. I started searching, methodically, room by room. I found number 2 in the bedroom, inside a power strip that looked completely normal. Number 3 in the bathroom, built into what looked like a regular air freshener. By the time I found the 7th one, hidden inside a smoke detector in the hallway, I was sitting on my kitchen floor, not sure whether to cry or throw up. 7 cameras, in every room of a 1-bedroom apartment, all connected to the same Wi-Fi network, all feeding to the same account, an account that wasn't mine. And when I checked the router logs, because I know enough about tech to do that, I saw the cameras had been active for 119 days. I confronted her that night. I laid all 7 cameras on the kitchen counter and waited for her to come over. When she walked in and saw them, she didn't gasp, didn't panic. She went quiet. And then she said she did it because she loved me and she was scared of losing me. Like that was an explanation. Like love was a defense for 4 months of surveillance. She said she'd been worried I was cheating. She said she just needed to feel safe. Then she pulled out her phone and showed me the footage. She had clips saved, specific moments she'd screenshotted or recorded from the live feed. Me arguing on a phone call with my boss. Me crying after my dad's health scare. Completely private moments she'd collected like evidence. And she'd been using them, I realized in that moment, to know exactly how to approach me. What to say when I was vulnerable. She'd been using my own private moments to manipulate every conversation we'd had for 4 months. I asked her to leave. She cried. She apologized. She said she'd delete everything. I told her if she didn't leave, I'd call the police, because what she did is actually illegal in most places, and I'd already looked that up while waiting for her to arrive. She left. I changed my locks the same night. I contacted a lawyer the next morning. Rachel ended up not facing criminal charges because my lawyer said proving intent for prosecution would be complicated and expensive. But I got a restraining order. She violated it twice. The second time, there were actual legal consequences. I still check my apartment when I move somewhere new. Every shelf, every smoke detector, every device that could have a lens in it. That's what 4 months of surveillance does to you. It doesn't leave. I don't think it ever fully will. But I sleep with the door locked and the cameras I installed myself, the ones I put there that I control, blinking green in the corner. And that's the difference. Would you have pressed charges? Drop your answer in the comments.